Welcome to Legally Everywhere, where we are what?
The very state responsible for the brutal war of aggression against his country, the United States, sits in the chamber as council president, abusing his position while obstructing every effort to bring an end to the barbaric war. Quote, let me make it clear. This resolution is a manifest injustice against my country, the main victim of a clear act of aggression. And you have heard the reading of the resolution from the United Nations with regards to what is happening with the current war with the United States and Israel against Iran. You have heard it here. What we are going to do now is we're going to go back to the PowerPoint that initially I created for us. Well, actually, let's go ahead and call it the PDF, right? So we went ahead and we were able to kind of go in and look, right? We were able to read the statements. We actually read 4 of them as opposed to just the 2. I wanted to give us the full context of some of the other discussions that they were having, right? From there, we were able to kind of look at some of the framework elements. Well, we weren't able to look at it, but we kind of were able to gauge some of the position that the United Nations had. There was some discussion on Article 2 and some discussion on Article 51, which we saw here, which is the discussion of use of force and the self-defense argument, right? Because generally, the reason a country is allowed to respond is because what it is a response. It is an action that occurred after another action. I'm allowed to defend myself, right? But you can't say that I won on offense and say that that's defensible unless you're saying the UN agreed and said, yes, we support that, right? So there's points of discussion and conversation to be had, right? Going back to the original discussion. I'm going to play this audibly in the background. This is 9 minutes. So you can hear some discussion from representatives. You will see that this party here is part of the current administration. So as you can see above, it says it's Washington, D.C. And then the person in the middle is representing Tehran, right? So in Iran. And then we have someone who's showing that they're coming from the United States, but they're based out of Virginia. They're a part of the Bush administration. You will hear that there is some discussion that is made about mission accomplished, the term. So I did place that visual even in the cover. Essentially, when you hear mission accomplished, it's usually frequently used as nowadays, it's kind of more so a phrase used to state that pretty much someone claimed victory a little too early. And that was something that was said during the time of the Bush administration, like mission accomplished. We will definitely be able to break down the visuals